Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review and back to more of the horror films. Um, now I'm doing now. The next one I'm gonna be reviewing now is a film that probably a lot of people, well, maybe for the ending though, but a lot of people probably don't like this ending though to this film. But once I mention the name, they're automatically think of the ending of it, But overall, I did like it though, and it was one of my favorite films of the year 2007, or I thought I should say I think it is my favorite film of 2007, and that is Stephen King's The Mist. Yep. Once I say the name, people are gonna think of the ending of it though, which it says right there. Calling it Pete Hammond from Maximum, calling it a masterpiece and one of the most shocking movie endings ever. And I would say it's one of the most shocking movie endings ever, because it's one of those endings that you never expected. And like I said, it's based on on a novella or a short story by Stephen King, which I have right here. I have read the book, and I do enjoy the book. I enjoyed reading a lot of Stephen King's books, like from Cujo, The Shining, Christine, um, Carrie, and etc. And a lot of the films I enjoyed a lot of the adaptations from his books into films. Like I love Cujo. Cujo always is a favorite Stephen King film of mine. The Graveyard Shift, Christine, Carrie, and The Shining. I've enjoyed a lot of films from Stephen King. And then this film came out during no, November 21st, 2007, during Thanksgiving weekend, and then the film it stars Thomas Jane, from who was the Punisher in Deep Blue Sea, and which I enjoyed, who I always also enjoyed as an actor, that's one of the good points here. And among cast members are Marcia Gay Harden, Laurie Holden, Andre Braugher, Toby Jones, Jeffery DeMunn, and apologize for my nose itches so much. And this is also this is directed by Frank Darabont, who has directed before this he directed two other films that are based on Stephen King's novels. He directed The Shawshank Redemption. He directed The Green Mile. And he also directed a film called The Majestic, which they didn't do well though, except for The Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile were praised, and I enjoyed both of those films. And Frank Darabont he also helped start the TV show. He directed the very first episode of The Walking Dead. So yeah, Frank, and he also developed the TV show as well. So Frank Darabont, who helped make the TV show The Walking Dead, he directed this film, The Mist, and The Green Mile and The Shawshank Redemption. And also Jeffrey DeMunn, who he's used him in everything that he's been in. That Frank Darabont, all of his work. The Green Mile. He's been all the stuff of work that Frank Darabont has directed. Even of course the Walking Dead, is the character Dale, who I liked. It was too bad he died in the show. Disappointing in that. But he's also been in all the other films that Frank Darabont has directed. So yeah, so he once again uses him in that, And also Laurie Holden, who played Andrea, and also in The Walking Dead, the character Andrea. She's in this. That's basically like her standing next to Thomas Jane right there, Toby Jones, who played who I enjoyed playing as Dr. Artem Zola in Captain America 1 and 2. And of course, he also did the voice of Dobby in the Harry Potter films. He's in this as well as the character Ollie. And also in the film, Melissa McBride, who was also still on the Walking Dead show as Carol. She's also in this in a short appearance, which I'll get to. And when the film came out, the film got got praised. It got positive reviews. Which I thought I was glad about. And it has I think it was a 7.2 on IMDb and has a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. That was just pretty good. Um, and it did fairly well at the box office, though. Even despite opening at a very weak opening at number 9, it still managed to make over its budget. A budget of 18 million overall, made 57 million worldwide. So its film was a success. And I'll get into the story that let me see. Also, oh, by the way, this is also the 2-disc collector's edition. What do you see right there? It contains a little booklet right there. Basically the front cover of the novel I have. The first feature, the different features from Disc 1 features a commentary with Frank Darabont, deleted scenes with also commentary, behind the scenes webisodes, trailer gallery, and on the 2-disc edition on the second disc is a director's vision complete feature. Like the second disc, you can also contains the feature film, but you can watch it in black and white. You can so all whenever I watch the mess, I always choose watching in black and white, because watching in the film in black and white, kind of watching like a creature feature film, it's maybe some reason makes me watch like a film from the classic creature feature film from the 50s, and stuff like that, So I always consider watching on the second disc, watching it in black and white, because it makes me think of a classic creature feature monster film from back in the day, Get what I'm saying? So yeah, the second disc contains that. You can watch the film, but in black and white instead. Contains of the making of the mist. Look at the effects of the creatures of the mist. So yeah. So now getting into the story, of course. It opens up with it I believe it's in Maine, because a lot of the film adaptations are always settled in Maine, because that's where the best of the books are that's where basically they're the books, and they're always settled in Maine because Stephen King, I believe he was born in Maine, in the state of Maine, so that's why most of the films from the books are always settled in the state of Maine, So I think it's in Maine. And there's a big thunderstorm. Thomas Jane is in his house. He's an artist. He's painting. He's like. Notice from when he's painting also on the walls. He's like painting. He's an artist of painting from movie posters. Like on the wall, you can see on the painting of the poster of John Carpenter's The Thing. Which I thought was a nice touch. John Carpenter's The Thing, my all-time favorite horror film. And I think one painting it was from Pan's Labyrinth. I think. And then one he's painting on is another from based on Stephen King. It shows like I think it was that gunslinger from Two Towers. I think it's called. I could be wrong. Maybe I think that's how it's called, the Two Towers. I think, as it shows a cowboy, the gunslinger, with a rose next to it. So then they go down the cellar to the thunderstorm. A tree breaks into their house. So he goes and takes his son to the market. He gets him some stuff, And his next door neighbor, played by Andre Braugher, who was a lawyer that he had a collaboration over for some time ago, So he asks if he wants to come along with him as well. So he does. They go to the grocery store, where they introduce a lot of the characters. Ollie Weeks, played by Toby Jones, who's working there. Of course, Marcia Gay Harden, who is the woman, Mrs. Carmody, the religious woman, which she's also been in films. Like she was in Mystic River. I believe that she was the wife to Tim Robbins in Mystic River. And she was also in Flubber. Flubber with Robin Williams, and seeing what other films, looking at what other films she's also been in. No, not much of the films. Not much in other films, but she was all like putting starring the comedy film like Magic in the Moonlight, that film called the next comedy film that Woody Allen directed. But she plays the religious woman, Mrs. Carmody. Laurie Holden as Amanda, who's there where her husband's away, and they're all getting their stuff together. They're all waiting in line at the checkout stands, and then all of a sudden, they hear the siren alarms go off, and then all of a sudden, a man, by the name of Dan, played by Jeffery DeMunn, he comes running in with a bloody nose, and that was in the book as well. The character Dan comes running in screaming with a bloody nose, saying, "Something's in the mist, something in the mist took John Lee, So yeah, that was part of the book that they got, that was in there, So yeah, he comes in saying that, and then all this mist rolls in, covers everything, like a man comes running to his car, you hear the guy screaming, but you don't see anything. So they all shut the doors, and all of a sudden this big earthquake happens, and they're all, and everyone's discussing, what's happening, what's going on. Then was Thomas James, David Drayton. That's what Thomas Jane's character is. He goes out to the loading dock. What was the reason he wanted to go? He wanted to go back there. I forgot the reason what. He turns out the power of the generator got turned off, and he trips and falls. And then he hears or sees something getting up, pushing against the loading dock door. And he runs back as scared. And William Sadler as the guy Jim. William Sadler, who was the bad guy in Die Hard 2. Him and his friend, what was his friend's name? Myron, and Toby Jones, and another the kid named Norm. The Norm as in the book called Norm the Bag Boy. They all go back there, they think that they're all making fun of him, thinking that he's hearing stuff, he's going loony, until the way how to open the generator again, is to open up the door, and one of them goes out there, and whatever the reason somebody to clear something out for the generator, and Norm volunteers. He says, I want to go. It was my idea, being cocky, So they open the door just a little bit, and then all of a sudden I see a big tentacle just grabs his leg, tries to pull him out. Thomas Jane tries to pull him, like, someone help me, and Toby Jones comes and helps, and the tentacle bites a piece of his leg off, and then bites right here, another part of his flesh off right here. They lose his grip, almost tries to pull him in again, and one of the tentacle grabs a bag of dog food, and they realize they can't save him, so Thomas Jane sees the kid doing this, and being pulled out, and Toby Jones closes the generator, but then Thomas Jane gets an axe and chops a piece of the tentacle off. So that's the first part. I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna put this into another part here. So hope you enjoy the first part of it. So stay tuned for part 2 of my review of The Mist.